Is in balance. Well, this is the EU Craft Cup number 28, brought to you by us, MC Dust and Jim Rayner, and it's going to be Nom versus Sock here at Shakur's Plateau. And we're looking forward to a great match as we get into it and let these obs load. And here we go. We are starting off, and you can go ahead and take it from here, Jim.
All right. So this is Craft Cup 28. This is everyone's final chance to enter the King of the Month tournament. This is the last 6th round matchup of Craft Cup 28, and they're playing on the largest 1v1 map of the Blizzard map pool.
And we're getting some obs lag.
Yeah, and it's better to get the lag now.
That's right, right at the beginning.
You know. And Nick hasn't left yet, and he's saying he's going to leave.
All
and
right, there
great.
he goes.
Oh, that was nice of him to leave. At least he did leave.
Definitely, very good mannered. So
Pylon. Yep, pylon being built inside Sock's main base. Gnome, we're not sure what he's going to do, and we're guessing that AG Fox is his team name, and that Gnome is his actual real name. Sock is chrono boosting in probes. So this is a Craft Cup 28 is a 10-round event. We started with over 840 players. We're now down to less than 20 players, and you're having the privilege of seeing 2 of those 20 play right now.
That's right.
Gateway is being warped inside Sock's main base, and Sock is going to go on a scouting mission. Now, there could be one of 2 places where his opponent is located. He could be in the top right-hand corner of the map, which is where he is, or he could also be in this location here as well. At this point, Sock is unaware of where he is. Interesting that we're seeing another Terran player do a wall-off build against Protoss. Maybe this is a changing development, I'm not sure, or maybe we're just finding Terran players that like to build walls.
That could be the case.
Yeah, a little bit of harassment here by Sock.
And you know, it is pretty standard for Terran to build walls, but
not always. It's not always.
Not with a majority.
Against
like,
Zerg.
not with a. I mean, yeah, against Zerg
it
it's
is
given, but you know.
But not against Protoss. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Now, notice where the cybernetics core is being placed. That's a fascinating choice. That creates a wall between this end and that end. I don't know if that means anything. We'll find out later in the game. Gnome is now getting an orbital command, and obviously Sock's probe has evacuated the area and is going to try to go back and do some more scouting, but this Marine is going to put an end to that. Now, the Marine will have a little bit of problems killing the probe because of these because of this high grass. Ranged units sometimes have a bit of problems, and they do allow units like probes and so forth and zealots to pull some nasty tricks. I mean, a zealot can walk right up to a Marine, and if he gets him right by where the grass is, the Marine won't shoot or anything. In any event, we see a reactor going on, being built on top of a barracks, and so it can allow a zealot to just get right up beside a Marine before the Marine starts shooting at him. Bunker behind the wall. And Gnome has now successfully scouted Sock's main base. Gnome's SCV has seen a lot of the main base as well. And the reactor is about 5 seconds away from finishing. A factory and a starport as well for Gnome. So both these players know where their opponents are. Gnome sits at 24 food. Sock sits at 36 food. It's 37 food now. In fact, Sock, I mean, let's check the unit counting station. Let's see the difference in that. Sock's got 6 more harvesters than Gnome. That's probably the biggest difference. Gnome's army consists only of 2 Marines and 1 Helion. The Sock army consists of 1 Sentry, 2 Stalkers, and 1 Zealot. And here goes a probe. Here goes a Helion's on a scouting mission, and that Helion's in big trouble.
That's right, it is.
Now we look on the factory. We see the Tech Lab add-on. Nothing coming out of the factory. Nothing coming out of the barracks. A Viking coming out of the starport. So, I don't know. Boy, Gnome isn't building much. I'm not sure what his plan is. Gnome is still 6 Harvester units behind Sock. Sock is pushing forward. 5 Stalkers, 1 Zealot, 1 Sentry. Obviously, he's not going to be able to pass the wall with the bunker. I mean, there's some kind of tech build going on for Gnome, I suppose. No, tech is expanding. The tank does not have siege mode. Look at this.
Oh, and look at this. Yeah,
this is going to be tough, man. You better get these SCVs repairing this bunker. This bunker goes down. He's in big trouble.
Yeah, that's right. And look at this. We've got Sock with a very aggressive first push. Guardian Shield wears out now as these SCVs are going down, and it looks like Sock will be pushed off of that of that ramp.
Gnome positioned his tank really well so that the tank was in range to go after the units, and whereas the Stalker, which only has a range of 6, could not fight back. So you know what? Big credit to Gnome. Really nice control with it. He put his tank on hold position and did a nice job defending there.
Also, I'd like to say it was a +1 to him for building that wall in this round as well.
Right.
Because without it, he would have been in a very bad situation.
Oh, it would have been game over.
That's right.
So at this point, though, this push was pretty successful because Protoss now has 13 more Harvester units than Terran. So economically, that was a pretty successful push, and there was a good trade of units between both players. At this point, Protoss sits at 56 food, Terran sits at 36 food. Now, this Banshee has got to do a lot of damage. Now, there is no cloak upgrade being researched. And let's see what this Banshee can do. It better do a lot. It needs to kill a lot of worker units to bring Gnome back in this game.
That's right. And that's exactly what he's trying to do. Stalker's being warped in now.
And he's going to go right after it. The problem is that
he's got in, and Sock is going to repel that Banshee off.
Now the Banshee can move over here and do some damage, and he can possibly move between the 2 mineral lines. Sock does have an observer on the board, and in fact we see 3 warp gates, 1 robotics facility, and this Stalker, with the Banshee as damaged as it is, 1 Stalker will shut it down. Interesting pylon placement by Sock. And if we look at the buildings for Gnome, we see 1 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport, a Hellions and Ravens for our Terran player, 2 bunkers. So you know what? Gnome is really afraid of the Protoss army, and that's a good fear. That's a wise, you know what I mean? Because right now the Protoss army, over the next minute or so, can swell to huge amounts. At this point, Sock sits at 86 food. Gnome sits at 54 food. I'm not sure what Gnome has up his sleeve, but he's got his work cut out for him.
That's right.
Now, Sock is continuing, Gnome is continuing to pump out Marines that are not upgraded. He's also pumping out Hellions, which have the Blue Flame upgrade. Furthermore, Gnome is getting the siege tank upgrade. It's about halfway completed, and the observer for Sock was killed by Gnome by using the Raven. However, the observer for Sock saw a lot of Gnome's base, and I think Sock likes what he sees because he's pushing out, and now he's on his way back, and this is why he's come back. 1 Banshee. The Banshee's down to 50 health.
Great job buying himself some more time, though, from Gnome.
Yeah, and look at this.
Yeah,
another expansion by Sock. I mean, Sock is kind of outclassing Gnome so far in this round 6 match.
That's right.
So the winner of this will play Moro in round 7. In this army, we're looking at 1 Immortal, 10 Zealots, 9 Stalkers.
And here comes some Marines to scout that and die.
Ouch.
That was a massacre, right? To their families. Cause
I'll tell you, the families of Gnome are going to be really upset, or the families of those 2 Marines are going to be really, really upset with Commander Gnome when their husbands come home in body bags because they were just massacred.
That's right. It's a good thing Terran used convicts for their Marines.
Yeah, no kidding. In any event,
look at this. We've also got a Ghost Academy going down right now.
He's going to need to lay down an amazing EMP because right now, Terran sits at 83 food. Protoss sits at 117 food. Now, we see a Banshee right here, but
it's not going to do much.
Yeah.
17 health just as it gets out of there.
Now, the one good thing the Banshee does is it does split up the Protoss army, and once there are Colossus on the board, Protoss wants to keep their units all together in one big army ball. They don't want to leave their Colossus vulnerable and sitting around. Now, talk about sieged up and talk about turtling.
Fortify, yep, that's right. Terran doing what they do best, fortification.
So we got three factories. Three factories, and a fourth factory being built as well. We got siege tanks even on the upper ledge as well. Now we're seeing these are 4 Helions with Blue Flame upgrade inside this dropship, and let's see if this pylon spots it, and let's see if SOC reacts. Look at it; it goes right past the pylon, and it is spotted by the pylon.
Right. Let's
see if SOC is able to. I don't think SOC saw it because it went right on the edge of where the pylon was, and if you just look away from the mini map for just a second, you'll miss it.
That's right.
So let's see if SOC responds. He's gonna. Oh, you know what? Look at this. Is he? I don't know if he's responding or not. But there's the dropship, and I'll tell you what. Nom's hopes in this game are on that. That dropship's got to kill like 20 worker units to bring him back into this game, because SOC's army is like. And I think he found it. Oh no, he's going after the watchtowers, I believe. What is this? No, just pylons.
2 gateways.
The pylons are making a wall, which will not allow the Helions to escape.
Yeah, that's right. But they're not going to be dropped
and in
back
fact, they can't get
there.
in.
They can't go all the way back. And look at that. They get confused. There's some ruckus here with these with Gnome's Hellions, but they do some damage. They are able to take out quite a few probes in that battle, but I don't know if it was worth it. There's just so much that that SOC has right now. He's sitting at 62 probes compared to the 58 and 1 mule for for Gnome.
We got 4 warp gates, a Templar archives going down, 4 warp gates, 2 more gateways on the way. I'll tell you what. I mean, this looks like a devastating macro game by SOC. Ouch. So here we go, Blue Flame Helions. They will do some damage to those zealots. Nice play. Okay, you know what? Gnome has managed to, do a little bit of damage there. The problem is that Protoss has got 3 bases and Terran's only got 2.
As well as Protoss is upgraded to level 2 and level 3 attack upgrades for the ground units of Protoss is on the way. Same with Templar Archives just got finished up, and Psionic Storm is on the way as well. High Templars, one of my favorite units in the game, going to do some great storm action here in this round.
Oh, look at these tanks! Oh, the Ghost nails down an EMP, and these Stalkers are in big trouble. Those Stalkers, all their shields were taken away by that Ghost.
That's right, and Gnome did lose a tank and a
Thor.
Oh,
another ghost shot. And look at this, these High Templars are in big trouble.
That's right.
And Gnome is doing a great job defending. So there's the 3rd Terran expansion. It is a planetary fortress. But I'll tell you what, SOC wants a piece of it. Again with the blink. That blink, the Stalkers are in big trouble.
And Thermal Lance is just about done. Once that is finished, he's going to get a lot more range with those Colossus, and it's going to be able to do some good damage.
I just lost a Colossus.
He did.
Just lost one. Now, right now, Protoss is at 185 food with 76 probes. Terran is at 66 SCVs and 147 food. So Protoss does have an advantage on numbers, but it's going to be all about positioning at this point. Now, this Raven does have only 50 energy, so the Raven can't lay down a defense drone. And now we're seeing a 4th expansion by Protoss.
Which is